أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Again we meet on the still we are in the 6th of Ramadan 1445, the 16th of March 2024. We will continue our lectures in the new Islamic perspective on the divine principle. We will continue to talk about the fall of man, the third part. Now we are going, last we talk about, we already spoke about the motivation of Iblis for seducing Adam and Eve. And we explain all this and the symbolic meaning of the tree. And now we are going to talk about the result, consequences and result of the fall of man. Actually, the fall of man resulted in many serious problems, disastrous situation. There are vertical separation between the spirit world and the physical world, between man spirit and man body. And of course, man himself was separated from God, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is a disunity of the connection knot between spirit and body, between God and mankind. And generally, it is between Allah and man, but particularly between man body and man spirit. Because our spirit is a very part of our existence which can communicate us with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But man, he lost all this connection. This all resulted from the fall of man. So horizontally, the relation between people was also broken between people, man and man, and especially a serious problem came out between man and woman, between love and beauty. Because originally the fall of man resulted from this relation between love and beauty, love of Adam and beauty of Eve. So this became a serious problem, the problem of love among mankind. Therefore, this resulted in destruction of the families, destruction of the marriage institution. God created family as a heavenly institution, divine institution, but this institution was devastated, completely broken down and destroyed by the fall of man. And due to the fall of man, actually, man died spiritually. Because now we said that man, spirit, and body were separated, and actually the spirit became like a paralyzed spirit, incomplete spirit. The spirit cannot grow perfectly. So it became like a dead spirit. This is why fallen man need resurrection. The need for resurrection resulted from the fall of man. This is one point. The other point is the sad history. All the miseries and the crises, all kind of fighting and violence and wars and all kind of misfortune and terrible history of mankind actually resulted from the fall of man. If Adam and Eve hadn't fallen, man history would have been a different one. So most of our struggles, diseases, ignorances, misfortunes, all these resulted from the fall of man. Even natural disasters, if man hadn't fallen, these disasters could have been under control in a better way. And because of man ignorance, we couldn't control and take care of the earth and the environment. This is all resulted from the fall of man. And internally, the whole creation came under the power of evil. Because the power of evil control man, and through man they control the whole universe. And this is actually hell. Because this is the domain of evil, the domain of Satan, as we have explained before. When Satan took over Adam and Eve, he dominated the whole system. He infiltrated in the whole system. This is resulted, as we have mentioned, in the separation between the spirit world and the physical world. Very serious situation. طيب. So Satan pervaded into the lineage of Adam, because Satan didn't take only Adam. He took Adam and his descendants. This is a problem. Adam and Eve and their children and their grandchildren and all the generations, from generation to generation, they are all become like offspring, partially and greatly. They are all offspring of evil. They are not offspring of heaven. This is why through this infiltration and central domination, Satan really, he dominated all the human community. And he is very active since the fall of man. He's so active in human society, inside people. We did many things. We do many things. Bad things. But actually, this is all under influence of evil spirit. Evil spirit. So the fall resulted in disobedience. Disobedience became disobedience and rebelling. A rebellious nature really came to mankind and became part of our life. This is the loss, and this is the sin. In Islam, it's called loss, the human loss, and in Christianity, it's called the original sin. So, man needs liberation, salvation, a kind of intercession through the Messiah. Needs shafa'ah, needs someone stood between man and heaven. And this man can intercede and protect and guide all mankind back to heaven, to God, to Allah Ta'ala. Because man's like drowning. We are drowning in the sea, the fallen sea made by Satan. And we need somebody to rescue us, to save us from that evil sea. And the Messiah is the very one, and the first one who was entrusted by heaven to save mankind and to rescue mankind. Of course, all the prophets, they were sent to do similar job, to save people. But the final say and the final, the finishing of the prophet work should be, or supposed to be done by the Messiah. Because the Messiah will be born without original loss. There is no loss. He will be born out of the fallen lineage. The new Adam and the new Eve will be born out this domain. Outside. So Jesus Christ was born outside this domain. He was not inside this domain. He's outside. He's born directly from heavenly lineage. And we know the story of Mary and Jesus' mother, and the story of Jesus' grandmother, the wife of Imran. It's very interesting story in the Quran. Later we can talk about it in the chapter of the Messiah, inshallah. So we already explained this separation between God and man. This is our situation. We are separated from our origin. We are separated from our creator, the origin which take care of us, who loves us. Actually, Allah loves us more than our mothers and more than our fathers. But our situation today, we don't feel that love. We don't know that love. Many people, they don't believe even in God. Many people, they think there is no God. This is all resulted from the fall of man. Of course, because people, they lost their spiritual senses and their spirit almost like paralyzed and inactive. They don't feel spiritually and they don't believe in the spiritually. And they think that when they die, it's okay, finish. They vanish away. There is no life after death. And they don't believe they have a spiritual body. It's just their physical life. And when they die, it's finished, it's over. Also, there is so many psychological and mental problems among people these days and before. But these days become more serious. And all these mental problems and psychological problems, actually, most of them resulted from the fall of man, came from the effect of the spiritually. Not only that, as psychological and mental problem, even the physiological and other body diseases, 80% of them, they said, they are originally spiritual problem, but they manifest themselves in physical outcome, but originally they are spiritual. So we need to solve this problem. We need to find a solution. And these days, of course, everybody knows there is 3 lines of treatment. There is surgical, chemical treatment of modern science, and there is natural medicine like herbs and other things. This is another line. And there is the third line is a spiritual line. So there is 3 lines of disease treatment. The 3 of them can work properly, then man can be cured perfectly. And of course, the problems of love, problems of families, broken families, misuse of love, and all kind of juvenile delinquencies, and broken families, and sexual problems, and family problems. This all resulted from the fall of man, because man lost his connection with heaven. And because the first problem, the first sin, the first mistake made by man related, and originally it is a sexual problem, it is a love problem. These days it is propagated and became very prominent and very strong, because we are at the end of times today, at the end of time. Usually people, sometimes they do many things. Sometimes they do very evil things. Of course, sometimes they do good things. And usually people think this is their own ideas, their own decision, and their own inspiration. But actually, this inspiration, not all of them, of course, but most of them, either coming from good spirit, which can help people and inspire people to do good, or from evil spirit, which can guide people to do bad things, evil things. And of course, because in the past, after the fall, the dominant spirit in the spirit world are evil spirits. And the people who were spiritually open, They said that the evil spirits who are under control of Iblis, these evil spirits, if we say this is Iblis, for example, and then evil spirits are under his direction and supervision, and he directed them to go and do this and do that. So the Iblis, usually he does not come to people now directly, because he needs a being similar to the human being. So he used the spirit of died people. Many people, when they are evil people, when they die, they go to the spirit world and they became under dominion of Satan. So he used them, and so evil spirits communicate with living people through their spirits, and they whisper to them, قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في عقول الناس من الجنة والناس من الجنة والناس. Therefore, this is the spirit world. Spirit world is a real world, is a substantial existing world, and those spirits are evil spirits are really influencing people strongly, actually, and through them came evil ideas and evil activities. And actually, and from this explanation, we can say that evil powers and evil spirit, even Iblis himself, actually he can do nothing without without the cooperation of mankind. If man didn't respond to Iblis, then he can do nothing. The Quran says so. وَمَا كَانَ لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ إِلَّا أَنْ دَعَوْتَكُمْ فَاسْتَجِبْتُمْ لِي فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. I had no authority over you except to call you, but you listen to me. Then reproach me not, but reproach yourself, your own souls. So he's giving responsibility and he putting the blame on mankind. Therefore, we need to change our way of thinking, because we need to cut relation with those evil powers, evil spirits, because those evil spirits, they work through mankind and they influence our minds and our hearts and our decision and our will. Therefore, man is the very person, very person who decide to follow evil or to follow good. And this is why the religious project, the religious teachers and books, holy books, they always teach us how we and commanded us to separate ourselves from evil powers and to follow the heavenly way. We have to stop give and take with evil. This is very important. Don't give and take. Don't entertain evil ideas. When evil ideas came to you like inspiration or like imagination or like some kind of feeling or ideas, just you have to stop it immediately. Because if you continue entertaining them and give and take with them, then they can propagate and they can be manifested in actions. So we need to stop it. And if you did a small action like this, 1 centimeter, then tomorrow you are going to do 5 centimeters. After tomorrow, you are going to do 10 centimeters. So this is the really entrance of the evil spirit, evil powers. They come, they enter to our emotion, our feeling and thinking a little by little, step by step. They don't come suddenly with big ideas, big evil ideas. No, it's little by little. So we have to be careful. Whenever a small wrong or evil thinking came to our mind, we have to cut it and change our way of thinking to a better one. Of course, we have to do goodness. If you do a little goodness, 1 centimeter of goodness, 1 gram of goodness, tomorrow you will do 5 grams. After tomorrow, you can do 10 grams, and continuously. So we have to do good things. We have to do good things little by little, then we can develop our goodness. Then finally, evil spirits can do nothing with us. They cannot do anything. Then, because of the fall of man, if you are a good man, you are a saint, you are a straight man, and almost not like a perfect man, but not completely, you cannot bequeath your goodness to your descendants. This is resulted from the fall of man. Mankind cannot bequeath their goodness and perfection to their descendants, to their children and grandchildren, because always there is evil powers around them, and because whatsoever you do, there is some problem, which cannot allow you. Of course, partially you can do it. Good people, generally, they can produce good children, but they are not perfect and they are not totally immune from evil powers. This is a problem. So the problem, we need solution for the individual and we need solution for the society. Because even if the children are perfected and they are born perfected, if we didn't take care of the society and if we couldn't change the society to a better one, they are going to succumb to the evil society. So the grave mistake of Adam and Eve, they involved Iblis in their love affairs. And involving evil spirit in love affairs is the most dangerous thing to do because it affects you and affects your descendants. And in the Quran, it is well established that man rushed perfection. The Quran says that Adam, he rushed. And that means he hastened. He wants to be fruitful quickly. He wants to pass the growing stage quickly. And then he stumbled and fell down. And Lucifer, he knows this. So he pushed him and then he fell down. Adam, he really fell down before reaching perfection. And for that reason, Satan became like a god. Satan became like a god, a king of this world. He's a custodian of man. And he's a dominant figure of this earth, actually, because he controlled man's mind and heart from the time of Adam and Eve continuously. So this is our reality: struggle, separation, conflict, selfishness, contradictory nature. This is all fallen nature. This is hell, actually. This is hell. All these realities, all this situation is a situation of a hellish life. And hell actually is a prison of Satan. Hell is a prison of Satan. We became like prisoners of Iblis. He is controlling us. We are in his prison, in his jail. This is hell. Only one person could be born out of this jail and this hell and this prison. It is the Messiah. So Jesus Christ was born outside this jail, outside this hell, because his mother and his grandmother and other ancestors, they laid the foundation and they prepared the conditions which allowed Jesus to be born outside the lineage of Satan. Jesus Christ didn't come from the lineage of Satan. He was coming from Adam. So he's from different lineage. So Jesus Christ was a special, his birth was very special. This is why it is well established that Jesus is second Adam. إن مثل عيسى عند الله كمثل آدم. For God, Jesus is like Adam. The Quran said so. So the Satan became the false God. There's very interesting story in the New Testament saying that there's three temptations of Jesus Christ. One of them, that Iblis came to Jesus and said to him, if you, I think he said, if you bow to me, and he showed him the whole kingdom of the world, of the earth. I said to him, if you bow to me, I will give you all these kingdoms. And this means that, of course, Jesus didn't respond to him. I said to him, it is written that you bow only to, you worship God and you bow only to God. But this means that Satan is really, he's controlling all the king. He is the king, false king. He is a false owner. And he's putting himself like another God. He's a false God, not true God. Hmm. So that in Quran there is something like the breeze of course we know that God, he breathes his spirit on Adam. So in the Quran there is something similar, النفاثات في العقد, as if Iblis or Satan, he can breathe his evil on Adam lineage in a way, and whoever born from Adam lineage, Iblis can put his a kind of a stamp, a stamp. This is mine. I own this. Of course, he cannot own all people because he is not the original owner. The original owner is God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This situation called the great loss, al-khusran al-mubin, or called the original sin in Christianity. It is a state of disorder and fallen nature and lineage distortion. My lineage was distorted, was polluted. My lineage was polluted actually. Same like a polluted blood or a contaminated blood. You know? So spiritually, mankind blood is contaminated with spiritual, we can say spiritual viral disease, spiritual problem in our blood. It is well established that in Islam it says that Satan is running in mankind body like the running of the blood. الشيطان يجري مجرى الدم. So the Satan is running, is circulating in the human body like the circulation of the blood. So our problem is blood problem, lineage problem. Therefore, we can say that the project of Khalifa, the project of the original Adam, the ideal human being, this project was destroyed actually, lost. And so the project of perfected man, the ideal man, was not established in Adam and Eve. So it's lost. And because of that situation, the creation is still not complete. Creation is not complete. Why? Because the center of the creation is not complete yet. Not complete yet. Unless the perfected man and the perfected woman born in this earth They took their position as Khalifa, as a second and new perfected Adam and Eve. The creation will not be perfected. These are the kinds of loss. We have the original disorder. It is called also original sin. Actually, it is a kind of disorder, kind of a disease. It is a contamination of the lineage. It is that like a satanic power were invaded man blood and became part of our blood. This is the original disorder, original problem, original sin. You can call it a sin. But it is not like that exactly, actually, but it is a serious problem. Originally came to us from Adam and Eve. And then there is inherited disorder. Inherited disorder, that's the problem of the mistake made by our other ancestors up to Cain and Abel. And then we have collective problems. These are the mistakes and sin made by the society, our families, our relatives, our nation. These are really, also it can influence us. And then you have the personal sin, personal disorder. These are the problems you made them by yourself for yourself. These are the problems you are responsible for, and you need to really deal with them. And of course, all these disorders, all these sins also affect human beings. We take some kind of responsibility indirectly for these problems, because these sins are not, they are actually problems, and we need to deal with them. We need to solve them and find a solution for them, because we are the result of history. We are not just what we are now alone. I am not alone, Abdelmoumin. I am a result of my parents and my grandparents up to Adam and Eve. So all this lineage from Adam and Eve, I came out as a result of that lineage. And then I carry with me somehow some kind of influence from that, all this history past, because I am a fruit of that past. So I need to deal with this situation and solve it. Iblis, he misguided man, and he guided him to fall, and of course this created the fallen society and fallen lineage. But besides that fallen lineage and original disorder and sin and mistake, there is also we inherited fallen nature. There are four fallen nature. We inherited them from Iblis. Where is fallen nature? Leaving the proper position. Because Iblis left his position. Allah said to Iblis, you have to prostrate to Adam and you become number 2. But Iblis, he left his position. He didn't take his proper position. And not only that, he reversed the dominion. He left his position and he wanted to take Adam's position. So he left his position and he reversed the dominion. Instead of he prostrated to Adam, he made Adam prostrate to him. And instead of he controlled Adam, instead of being controlled by Adam, then at least he controlled Adam and Eve actually. And by this, he multiplied sin. He multiplied evil desires, evil emotions, and evil ideas. Some people, they think that the fall of man resulted from man freedom, but this is not true actually. Freedom is the grace of God and a gift of God. So man didn't fall down because of freedom, because he's free. It's not like that. Man fell down because he didn't take responsibility for freedom. This is the problem. He didn't take responsibility for freedom because there is no freedom without responsibility. No freedom without order. If you are free to go to shopping in the market, but you have to have your driving license, you have to observe the traffic lights and laws, and then you can go do your shopping with your car and come back. You are free to do that, but there is an order and there is responsibility. If you didn't take responsibility and if you didn't obey to the order and system and laws, then everything will be destroyed. Even you can be killed while you are driving. Therefore, there is no freedom without responsibility, no freedom without order, and no freedom without purpose, a good purpose. There should be a purpose why they give you freedom. Man was given freedom to perfect himself. And he need to follow the orders. Don't eat. لا تقربا هذه الشجرة. Don't come near that tree. Don't touch. Why Allah didn't interfere in the fall of man? This is a good question. Allah could have, he could have stopped everything from that time. Why he didn't interfere in the fall of man? First, Allah wants to preserve his absoluteness. His absoluteness and the absoluteness of his laws by which he created the universe. And Allah wants to preserve the perfection of his principles because Allah said, I prepare everything, I put everything in order, everything is good, and I arrange everything. Just all the angels have to listen to Adam and come under Adam dominion. And then when Lucifer refused, when Iblis refused, then Allah spoke to Adam and Eve, don't listen to this Iblis because he is your enemy. And then if Adam and Eve follow this commandment, everything will go okay, even if Iblis didn't prostrate. Finally, he is going to prostrate and come under Adam dominion. If Adam listened to God's commandments. Therefore, God, he said, I want to create a Khalifa, a vicegerent. I want to make an heir who can inherit my kingdom, become my representative, like a director, a manager of the universe, like a second self of heaven. This is the absolute of the law. And God didn't interfere because he knows he put everything perfectly. If he interfere, that means he is not sure about his system and his laws and his plans. Therefore, he didn't interfere. And even when Lucifer challenged God, God said to him, go and do whatever you want to do with man, go and do it. أجلب عليهم بخيلك ورجلك. Go to them with all your powers and your followers. And he said to him, be a partner to them. If you want to be, okay, be a partner to them in their descendants, offspring, and in their belongings, in their money, in their properties. وشاركهم في الأموال والأبناء. اللي هو دي نوع من partnership. This is what has happened exactly actually because Iblis became like a partner to mankind. He took a big share of mankind to himself because he said to God like that, he said to Allah like that, I'm going to take a big share. لأتخذن من عبادك نصيبا مفروضا. I'm surely going to take a big portion from your people as my own. Anyhow, God didn't interfere in the fall of man because he wanted to become the only creator. God didn't see evil. He didn't see it, didn't create it, and he didn't want to look at it. And he's going to deal with it by the principle. And it will vanish away. It will vanish away. كتب الله لأغلبن على ورسله. It is written that God will prevail with his prophets. And because God wants to make man the Lord of creation, if he interfere, that means man is not qualified. Man is not qualified to be Khalifa. And this can confirm what Iblis said. But because God knows, he put all the qualification and all the abilities within mankind through which man can really control himself, and he can repair and restore all his mistakes. And this is what is going to happen. We are going to study through history how man struggled to regain his position as Khalifa and as vicegerent of God. Anyhow, mankind need liberation from Satan. This idea of liberation and salvation is not well established in Islamic culture, in Muslim consciousness. But this is very important point. This idea of liberation and salvation from this, we have to be liberated from this jail. Something has to happen. Somebody has to come and open the doors for people to be liberated from this hellish prison made by Satan. And this person actually is the Messiah. They call him the Messiah, the Savior. Anyhow, all Abrahamic religion, Judaism and Christianity and Islam, they are all waiting for the Messiah. And actually, yeah, there is a Messiah coming. It's true. An ideal man, an ideal woman is coming. They are all Jews, Christian, Muslim, all waiting for the Messiah. And actually, this Messiah is the new Adam. And his bride is the new Eve. So we are now expecting new Adam and new Eve. And through when they appear, when they were born and appeared, they are going to establish a new parenthood. And they can play the central role of a messianic mission, a mission of salvation, of restoration, of recreation. Man needs to be recreated. And the true parent can recreate mankind and put them in a new direction and upgrade them to a new level. They can reach the end of the growing period and fulfill their responsibility and realize the idea of creation. Okay, thank you so much. Here I came to end my lecture, and see you again in the next lecture, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.